Okay, no wonder so many founders just end up starting another business when their first one hasn't worked out or they've had an exit. Because, like, honestly, it is so hard to, like, re-enter the workforce or, like, know how to re-enter the workforce. And, like, I just feel like, especially as a generalist as well, there's so many options, right, of, like, what you can do. And I'm, like, so torn between, like, do I double down on obviously like the skill set that I already have, or do I use this as like a redirection for my career? And I don't know, I guess I've been through a few motions of this, right? Like, I don't know if other founders or ex-founders can relate, but like I've been like looking for roles for a while now, while still running my business and trying to work out if there is something out there that like is a better fit for me, that enables me to take the reins off a little bit of my like, you know, business like operational hat that I wear, and like really just work out if it's something that like I can grow, but like without the pressure of like trying to bring in new clients and like get more revenue and things like that. But it's really hard because like I don't know, I feel like I'm just like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you know what I mean? Like I haven't fully committed to like doubling down on the business. And I don't know if I've fully committed to, I don't know, like I've been pretty like actively job searching. I feel like it's like it's one of those things that when you're trying to like pivot into something new, I reckon it always takes a bit more time than you expect, because like you're kind of not exactly sure what it is that you want to do, and so you're like very open-minded. You're like, maybe I could do a strategy role, maybe I could do, you know, like product or ops and partnerships, and it's like you're kind of going through all those motions. You're trying to work out the type of company that you want to work for, in any kind of like career pivot. I remember when I was like trying to move into startups after working in management consulting, and I was just like, the world, like there was almost so many options that it took me like a year to like finally be like, okay, like I'm doubling down on this, like I'm gonna want to go early stage and just do some contracting, and then I'll like kind of know from that if this is the right call. But yeah, I guess I'm just in that stage again now, and it's like I've set a deadline of like I want to roll by April 10, which is now like a week away. And so I'm not feeling super confident in my timeline, because I'm like in a few processes, but like, you know, these things can take weeks. And I guess at the back of my mind, I was thinking like, do I like double down on the business again and like stop the job search if I haven't found anything by April 10? Because there just needs to be like a marker in the sand, right? Of like, otherwise you could be like feeling like you're not making any progress on anything forever, right? And I feel like that's just where I'm at in terms of like, don't know what's going on here. You know, like in terms of where I'm at in the job search and like what, yeah, like I need to have a date where I'm like, okay, like this just can't keep, because when I'm like committed to, this is what I mean by like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like if I'm committing to like searching for a job, I'm not committing my full strength and like effort and time into revamping the business and finding new, you know, contract opportunities. I know it feels like I could do both, and I am, but I'm just like not doing either of them very well right now. And so I'm trying to think like, okay, maybe like, do you ever just feel like the universe is like redirecting you, or like you're trying to like, sometimes when you're trying to like force something so much and it's nothing's happening, that you're actually like it's not meant to be, like you're actually meant to be focusing your energy on something else. And I sort of feel that way at the moment, I guess. Like, yeah, it's so tricky because it's also how you like view your time, right? Like I viewed my time, like I valued my time more when I wasn't looking for jobs, right? I was like always working on the business, finding new ideas, opportunities, talking to clients. Like I was very motivated to take to the next level. And now that I've decided that the job is going to be something I take a step back from and I find something new, I haven't been like, I found my time's not valuable because I'm like, I don't have any value. Do you know what I mean? It's like really hard for me to like, even though, I don't know, it's hard for me to like process that, right? Like even though I've still got a business to run, like I don't view it in the same way. And so I'm trying to like come to terms, I guess, with like what that means. And I just oscillate so much with like, you know, like I was so sure that the business was something that I needed to, like I'd run out of ideas. I was like, I'll support our existing clients, but like I don't have any more like gas in the tank to reinvent this one more time, right? And I think that's where looking for jobs has made me think, okay, like, oh my God, I could go get like paid by someone else. I could go help another business. I could just like take so much of that pressure off and take all my learnings and like, you know, give them to someone or help someone who's like gonna value them, right? Like that felt like the right thing to do. And I guess where I'm at, or where what I'm trying to process, right, is like, how have I not gotten anything? It's so far, right? And I know like for sure there is some, like I reckon I'm not interviewing as well as other, like being a founder and trying to like interview is so different because you're so not, like the way you describe everything that you've done, I feel like can be quite general. I know that there's some improvements I can make on that. Every interview I get a little bit better. But at the end of the day, like having been an interviewer and hired people, like hiring people at my startup, I reckon you sort of go in with a gut feel, and that person confirms it or denies it in the first like 30 seconds. And everything that they do after that, you're almost like searching for validation or other proof points of that like initial impression you've had, right? And this is why I think that like whole hiring bias thing's so real, of like people just like to hire like subconsciously, I reckon, people who are like them, or they can see themselves in them, of like young, ambitious. Like if I had like an ex-consultant like who started her own business come to me and she's like, I can help you, I'm like, I know exactly what skills you have and I think they'd be really valuable, and I want to like I'm coming into the conversation with that in mind. Which means like if someone else that I'm interviewing like has maybe only worked in big tech or something that I can't resonate with, even though like maybe that's a skill set exactly that I want, there's still this like unfamiliarity with it. And I feel like that might be what's happening to me, of like, because I have quite this unconventional background and I'm applying for quite conventional roles, or roles that tend to have quite a linear career path, right? And yeah, I'm kind of like, I've got to have a hiring manager or someone who's like, I see you, I know exactly what kind of asset you are, and that's what we need, you know? And I think that's what's been really, really hard about it. And it's really causing me to question, like, I don't even know if I'm a linear career person. Like, I mean, I know that I'm not. And I think, got a really dry throat. 1 second. Oh, silly me. Yeah, like, I don't think, like, I do know that. And I'm trying to, because I don't know how to make the non-linear path work for me right now, that I'm like a little bit burnt out by it. I'm like, I want to go back to some security, some stable income, you know, and like take the pressure off myself being the one who's like, you know, bringing in every dime, you know. Like, I think having that, like, I feel like I'm sick or something. You know, having that security is very attractive. But I guess I also know, like, at the end of the day, like, in a few years, unless I'm somewhere where I'm being very creatively challenged, like, I might get the itch to go out on my own again. But at the same time, I know that I won't do it in this, like, I would only do that if this, or like my podcast, or this is my podcast, or like my podcast and my YouTube channel, like, went viral enough that I could make like a full income off it, right? And like actually be like double down on it. But I would like, that is like something that takes creators like 5 years to do, right? And that might never happen. I don't see me like quitting a job again to kind of do what I did this time, like come up with an idea, see an opportunity in the market, go raise venture capital, take that to market. I just don't think that's like, I don't think I can do that again. It hasn't worked for me. It's completely burnt me out. And also just going through the challenges of re-entering the workforce from this, like, I know that I've got so many learnings and I'd do it better next time. But part of that to me is like, it's got to be something that just comes sort of very organically through me, and that like has so much traction that from the day I like quit a full-time job or like a corporate job, I'm earning like serious cash. Like, I'm already earning serious cash, and I need to go in full-time. That's the only way I can see that ever happening again. So that brings me back to like, I thought I was really onto the right thing of like, okay, go get a job, work on your creative pursuits, run your business, like, you know, it required, like, without requiring too much operational, you know, kind of effort or work, like could spend a few hours on it each week or something on the weekends. Like, yeah, I really thought that was like it. And so like, I'm like, why is nothing happening? And it's not for like lack of trying, but it is so hard to like maintain that self-belief, especially when you view, like, obviously failing is good and like most people don't try and yada yada, like I fully get that. But it is so hard when you're like, you kind of know deep down like it didn't go the way you want it, right? Like, it hasn't worked out. And then when you're in an interview and people are like kind of like I don't know, not valuing that, like, it's like I even feel more like a failure, or like I'm like, my failure is not valuable, and that like makes me question myself again, which is not great. But yeah, I feel like it's kind of funny. So my engineer was like, I've just been not sure what to do, right? And the business I've kind of been like ticking away at, and So we got 2 platforms. One of them is what we pivoted away from because the market was just contracting. It wasn't the right timing. Our thesis didn't make sense anymore in the new political environment. So I had sort of like stopped investing in that product, right? And one by one, all those clients now, they were kind of coming up for annual renewal about this time, have all decided to not renew, right? And that makes sense. I would have kept it live if they wanted it, but like it was effectively sunset, and I think for good reason. We read the market right. It wasn't worth doubling down in. You know, our clients believed in our thesis because that's where they thought the market was going to, and then we all had to readjust. So yeah, that's kind of like, I guess, I'm almost at this time where it's like, okay, I could actually really shut down that one platform and just double down on the other, which is all we're kind of doing. I guess by double down, I mean like, do I run a new sales campaign and try and get some more contracts for that, right? And I was sort of against it just because I was like, I need to generate some income from another source. I don't want that pressure. It might take another year to land a big enterprise deal. I don't have that kind of time. And here I am though, having not invested any like sales efforts for the last 6 months and investing all that time into a job search, and I don't have anything to show for the job search. And so I'm like, should I be revisiting this? And like, I don't know, like I have had that time to, I suppose, reset and find my energy and my joy and my passion again. I was very burnt out and jaded by the whole thing and sort of how everything ended up like in the end of last year. The plant. And so I think I've like got my mojo back, and honestly I think like even though I have like 11 subscribers on YouTube, this has like helped me find my spark again, you know, like I feel like I really just enjoy, yeah, it's helped me get my confidence up on screen, like clearer communication style. As I said that, I was like, that's not really a grammatical sentence, grammatically correct sentence, but there we go. There's always room for more improvement. But yeah, it's sort of like, I guess, really shown me that I can build something and honor my creativity and my strengths, you know, in a way that feels very effortless to me, and that I don't need like a quote unquote like technical product or co-founder or team to kind of help me get my stuff out into the world. And I think, you know, when I started my business, I was a solo founder and I wasn't technical, and I did a lot on no code, and I got it really far. That's how I raised my seed funding. But as soon as you get it to like the next stage, which is when we hired engineers and, you know, got it into a state where like all of a sudden I can't just go in and change something, and like I actually kind of loved that, like that flexibility and like the ability to like test things so rapidly before you validated product market fit. And I think now with obviously the AI tools and Lovable and stuff, like a lot more people are doing that. But I just don't even have, I don't know, I just don't have the desire to build a tech product right now, because I think I'm still like, there's just, you know, so much didn't work, and some things did work, but I guess I'm like, yeah, it's so interesting. I feel like I've been avoiding this conversation with myself as well. Like every time I try and think about next steps for Gen 2 and like, you know, what I'm doing, like I just keep going like in circles. Like it's like I try to sit down and sit with it and be like, what do I want to do? And it's like a blank blank mind. Like I just go completely, there's nothing there. And that's like very unlikely. I'm usually very like, you know, solution orientated, always like to like sit with these big problems and resolve them. But I just haven't been able to do that with the business as it stands today. And even as like each of these clients have given me the updates, I'm like, I know that it's time to shut part of it down. But at the same time, like, what am I doing? Am I continuing to grow the product that's actually working? Like, why am I not doing that? Because I'm burnt out? Because I don't have enough capital to like justify the investment? But then again, like job searching's not giving me a high ROI at the moment. You know what I mean? And so I feel really torn of like this, yeah, I guess what to do. And like, I guess at a certain point, not to say I might, like, maybe it's like I don't stop looking for new roles, but I get more selective about things that really excite me rather than like I don't know, just something that I think will be a good fit based on my experience. And I just like go really down to like only applying for things that I'm like, and like yesterday I applied for a role at Mr. Beast and I spent like 6 hours on my application because I was so excited. It sounded amazing. And then I was like, okay, that's the kind of energy that I want to have, or like the reaction that I have when I see a role. And if I don't elicit that reaction, like I shouldn't be wasting time on an application. And I think maybe what it is like then, yeah, like on April 10, if I don't have a new role or new opportunity, then the priority becomes selling new contracts. And then the second priority becomes the job search in a way that like kind of inverts my prioritization right now. And I'll keep vlogging, of course, but that's my downtime. That's my hobby. I don't know if I can do it every day though. So like I just posted a video though, like I had a kind of like a concussion. I had a bad ski fall on the weekend and I was just like so tired for a few days. And I was like, I don't have anything in me to sit down and record and that's like a first. I was like, this, I really want to do it, but I just don't think I can, and it'll like fall so flat. And I think I doubled that with like having a bit of a cold because like my throat was really sore. It's still a bit dry, just from talking, I think. But yeah, I feel like I was like really sad. I was like, oh, like I kind of enjoyed doing it daily, but then I was also thinking like, I feel like I need to make the videos a bit higher quality. Like, I don't know, I think I started like panicking, but I'm still working on this like one that I was meant to post on Sunday, but then didn't end up doing, because it's still I'm still editing it. This like kid body type quiz that I do again, because the first time I kept getting bad answers, and I wanted to make it really interactive, so I'm like taking screenshots of the quiz so people can do it while they're watching. It's just like so fiddly. I'm excited to post it, but it's just gonna take me a while. And then between that and just like, I don't know, exercising, like cooking, like where are all the hours in the day, you know? I'm not even like wedding planning at the moment. I should be doing some more thinking on that. But I'm going back to Australia in a week, which is wild. I can't believe I'm going back and I haven't made any progress in my job situation. But then maybe if my answer is I'm doubling back down on the business, then that's a good answer to have. Tell people about my new podcast. Yeah. Anyway, what I was saying though, so my engineer was like, what if we turned this more into a services business, right? So rather than, because right now our product is like kind of limiting, it's hard to like fit into everyone's workflows. It kind of just fits into the one client we have. And I'm trying to think, how do we make this like scalable product? But then I guess the challenge around bootstrapping that is like you need a lot of clients to make that something that like is going to sustain a few salaries. And so he was saying, what if you go out and source new contracts and then we go build what they need? And then that would be like they'd be bigger contracts. It'd be like, we're not building unless we get a contract, with like delivery milestones and things like that. And now I'm kind of thinking maybe that's what I should do, because there's some part of me that's just like, and this is where I get so, I don't know if I'm like interfering with my intuition or listening to my gut, but like I don't know if there's a part of me that's always been like, there's something here and I don't want to shut it down. And I thought for a while, like maybe that, like I started doubting that. I was like, is that just my fear of failure? I don't want to shut this down. Or do I actually really fully believe that? And I think, I don't know, it's been hard because it's like the obvious answer, especially with all these like contracts coming up and not renewing, I'm like, why don't I want to let this go? And it's so hard to be like objective or like not get in my head about it, right? I'm like, is this for my own like vanity that I'm like, I don't want to accept that this is over? In my head, I've been arguing like that I'm waiting for whatever's next to solidify, to have a clearer head on what I'm going to do with that. But that's taking ages to solidify. So I'm like, and maybe it's not solidifying because I'm not making any kind of commitment or decision about that. But I don't know, I don't like, yeah, it's really hard. I don't know if my gut is telling me, like if it is my gut that's telling me there's something here, let's revisit it, or if it's like, me being dumb again. Or like not the smart decision to do. So yeah, I guess that's where I'm at. I feel like it would have been easier if I just decided that I was going to shut it down and not take on this new contract, but I have. So I'm dealing with that. But yeah, maybe I just got to sell some more. That'll give me some more energy and momentum, and only apply for jobs that light me up, like the Mr. Beast one. I spend a day on an application, rather than quantity. Well, this was helpful for me. Oh dear. Anyway, let me know if anything resonates. Yeah, I feel like this stuff isn't easy, and I'm a big believer in like, close one door, another door opens, and you can't have 2 feet in one thing, hedge your bets and things like that. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I think a bit of a reality check for me to reevaluate that. And yeah, keep you updated. See you next time.